All right, guys, Legal Life back again. I know it's been a little while. Got another little video for y'all guys here. This is for home defense considerations. So, what you're gonna be using, why you're gonna be using it, the gun, the ammo, all that. We're gonna start at the top. So, one of my main things is where you live. So, do you live in an apartment building? Do you live in a home where there's nobody on top of you, nobody on bottom of you beside other people in your house? Do you live in an apartment complex where you have neighbors that you can hear through your walls? You know, that's going to play a big part in what gun you choose for your home defense. So, for instance, if I'm living in the middle of nowhere in my own house, big house, nobody on top of me, no one to the side, then I would feel more comfortable using a rifle. Because I know if I do get any over penetration, it ain't gonna hit nobody. But if I live in an apartment building where I have neighbors to my left, to my right, across the hall, a rifle wouldn't be your best option. Because regardless, that sheetrock, a pistol's still gonna go through it too, but the rifle's gonna carry a lot more velocity going through it, and the last thing you wanna do is shoot your neighbors in a situation where you have to defend yourself. So where you live is gonna play a big part. Me personally, I live in an apartment, so I have neighbors on top of me and on bottom of me, left and right, but not straight ahead. So if I wanted to use a rifle, knowing the layout of my house and where I'm gonna personally be coming from if something were to happen, I feel comfortable with using a rifle if I really wanted to. But the size of your house also plays a part in that too. So do you have a small apartment? Is your apartment big enough for you to wield a 16-inch rifle through the doorways, through the hallways and all that effectively? Because let's face it, not everybody has a short barreled rifle. Not everybody put in their paperwork to get an SBR. And with the brace thing happening and all that stupid shit, I mean, a lot of us are still running around with 16-inch ARs. I have one in my closet right now. If I were to run around with that, my house is not big enough for me to feel comfortable wielding a 16-inch AR through doorways and all that if I had to. I could, but it's not the most optimal thing. So for that reason, I chose a pistol. And that's gonna bring me into the next thing, the type of gun you choose. So whether it be a pistol, rifle, shotgun, that's gonna come down to your personal preference, but the ammo and the type of gun it is gonna be determined by where you live. For instance, me personally, if I had to shoot a rifle in my house in any way other than a certain direction, there would be a problem because I have neighbors and it's gonna end up hitting people. So I ended up going with a pistol. So I use either my 40 cal, all clear. It's my Glock 35. Throw a light on the bottom of it. Running hollow tips, you know. That's been my main home defense since I got the gun. I feel comfortable with it. I shoot good with it. You throw a light on it, good to go. They're 40 cal rounds. It's not gonna super over penetrate. Granted, it's going through sheetrock regardless. Your 9mm, your 40 cals, they're gonna go through that sheetrock. So you're gonna have to get that out your head that them walls are gonna stop bullets, because that's not gonna happen unless it's a concrete wall or there's something metal in there or something. That bullet's gonna whiz straight through. So lately I switched it up and I've been running my FN 509 in 9mm with some normal monolithical hollow tips. I just been trying different things with it. So, I mean, it's really up to you. If you want to switch them out and try different things, it's a nightstand gun. This sits around most of the day. So I just started getting back into the FN 509. I like it. It's a toss-up for me. But on the next hand, what type of rounds are you using? So are you using ball ammunition? Are you using hollow tips? If you're using shotgun, are you using buckshot? Are you using slug? That's all gonna play a big part in the whole totality of the situation. So if you do have to shoot, just know whatever you're shooting, you're responsible for wherever that round goes. So if you hit your neighbor because you wanted to pull out a 3-inch shotgun slug and blow through your wall, that's gonna be on you. You know what I mean? So just a couple considerations. I prefer hollow points if I'm gonna use any type of defensive ammo. Ball ammunition's good for the range, but defensive wise, I'm not going with ball. And that leads me into my next point. This is the one mandatory thing I say you have to have on any defensive weapon, home defense or whatever, and that's gonna be a light. Regardless if it's a rifle, shotgun, pistol, whatever, light is mandatory. And I say that in terms of, think of the situation as you're in the back of your house, someone breaks in your front, all the lights are off, middle of the night. Last thing you want to do is go ahead and flick lights on in the back and let that bad guy know exactly where you're at. I want to be in control of my light source. I want to know where I'm pointing this light, when I'm pointing this light, when I'm turning it on, when I'm turning it off. So weapon mounted light is essential for that. You don't want to flick on lights and everybody knows where you're at. Next thing you know, you're stuck in the back getting into a shootout with somebody that's breaking into your house. When you could have positioned yourself, maneuvered yourself into a better position and flicked on your light when you absolutely needed it. So I'm going to say home defense, absolutely necessary, light, without a doubt. So overall, your home defense it's going to come down to a lot of things. Are you most comfortable with a rifle? Can you shoot a rifle in your building without taking out a neighbor? Can you shoot a shotgun in your building without taking out a neighbor? Granted, we know bullets go through walls, things happen. But for your situation, your house, your apartment building, whatever it is, you want the best round, the best gun that's going to suit the totality of the situation. Not just the dude coming in the door and you want to take him out because you got 3-inch slugs in your shotgun, you know? You want to think about the whole situation, everything that's going on around you, because you're responsible for them rounds that come out your gun. So you don't want to over penetrate and hit the lady 2 doors down because you're using 5.56 55 grain ammo and you're letting them rip through a fucking plaster wall, you know? So, I mean, take it into consideration for what it is. You know, what works for me might not work for you. You might live in a house where you have no neighbors around and you can run a 16-inch AR because you know if anybody comes down your property, you can see them for 50, 100 yards, you know? It might be the situation like that. If it's not, you're going to have to look at the totality of things and figure out what's best use for whatever you're using in that scenario. But if you have any other considerations, anything else that I missed, man, comment down below and let me know what you guys think, man. It's Legal Life. I'm out of here.
And jump off in this Lego life.